Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So, according to that, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and this thing says -6 Celsius. I don't know, I guess this one's an hour fast, right? Somewhere around 2:30. It is February 20th, Friday. I think it's 2:30, it feels like 2:30. I don't know, maybe it really is 3:30. What does this say? This says 5 o'clock. It must be 3:30. So, what are we up to today? I took my nap and after working last night, and I figured I'd come up to the upper garage, check it out, see what's going on. And one of my buildings didn't make it through the winter. Right, those all survived, but I don't know. You guys could kind of see the tarped over trailer there. Get a little further, get a different angle. There you go. The tarp trailer. Sorry for the wind. You guys might remember on the other side, I kind of reinforced it with mesh, but I guess the couple of feet of snow was a little too much for it. You guys could see there's about, I don't know, about a foot, maybe a little more, 14 inches. A bunch of it has blown off the roof and kind of compacted a little bit. I don't have too many icicles that I'm fighting with. Anyway, I do like to get up here to the upper garage and make sure I got no problems going on. I just quickly look around, make sure I got no huge puddles on the floor, or quite honestly, any puddles on the floor. This place is only a few years old, right? Make sure I don't have any obvious rodent activity, anything like that going on. I also like to come up here because it allows me to get some ideas. I mean, where do I have space? How can I lay things out better? Junk like that. Okay. Let's go. Whole hog, open up both doors. Also lets me, think about some of the stuff I've worked on and built and put time into. If you build something and it doesn't work out completely, or it doesn't work out at all, even if you've spent a few bucks on it, you went through the trouble of building it. You learned something by building it. You got yourself up off your couch, and you actually did something. As an example of that, this lift, though it functions, you guys obviously can see, I stopped building it at some point. And the reason why I stopped building it is it just isn't going to do what I need it to do. For lifting up one of the 200s, or lifting up like 200S or 200X, it could do it. Lifting up, I think I've lifted to 200M, which is another few pounds, and it did it, but it wasn't in love with it. Lifting up the it won't lift up the 4x4. The extra 150 pounds or so that it weighs is just too much. So I'm probably at some point gonna recycle the metal from that, the winch and the metal, and do something else with it, because it wasn't quite what I wanted. What I'd really like to get, and the problem is, to be able to be used with cars, it should really be at that door or that door. That door has the shelf, so it should really be at that door, so that I could pull a car in on it. But I'd really like to get one of the low-rise lifts, mid-rise, I don't know, 40 inches, something like that. Musty One has one. Wild-Eyed Northern Boy has one. The Hack and Pack had one for a while. And yeah, I know you don't like being out in the snow. So that's really what I'd love to get my hands on. The one Wild-Eyed Northern Boy has really is nice and flat to the ground. So that would actually be great. I've mentioned this, and I've probably mentioned it to some of you guys will remember me mentioning it, but if I were to build this garage again, this garage is 24 by 24. The 24 by 24 is fine, but I would have gone another 8 foot that way. And the reason why is for this to be a really good all-terrain vehicle garage and a functional workshop type garage, it would actually be good is if, instead of having this shelf stick out here, that the walls were clear. Particularly that side could theoretically be a workbench, a 1.5 or 18-inch workbench, whatever, up against the wall for the entire length. And this mess could be out there, not in the way of the garage doors, right? So there could be a couple of shelves where you have the runner bikes underneath, and you have the parts bikes or the in process bikes on top, and then perhaps over here you can actually roll things under and all. I can't expand or anything like that. I mean, this is just crazy. I got to get the horde a little more under control. But if I had it to do all over again, to be quite honest, I would have gone with the extra 8 foot, and 8 times 24. Right? What is that? Another, it would have been almost another 200 square foot of space, but because it would have been double-decker, it would have been like another extra 400 square foot of space. 400 square foot's like, 4 of those sheds. The sheds are about 100 square foot each. So just my thoughts. If anyone's building a garage, 24 by 24 is nice, but I would go more like 24 by 32. And once again, just have the doors, and if you like all-terrain vehicles or motorcycles, push it out that way. All right. What am I up to this week? Tomorrow afternoon into Sunday, we're supposed to get another snowstorm, so that'll keep me amused or unhappy, whatever. But as it goes into Sunday, it's actually supposed to warm up into the 40s, so it might turn into rain. So I might find myself up on the roof clearing a certain amount of snow off because I really don't need my roofs to collapse. But given that it's warming up a little bit, won't be quite so frigid. I'd actually like to get out to the garage and spend a few minutes. Well, spend a little time with the 200X conversion to the S and the golf cart. What I need to do with that before I can really go forward with making the cradle is I need to drop the engine into it and make sure the engine shaft is turning in the right direction as the axle shaft, so that I actually have 5 speeds going forward. I also need to take the motor apart, the electric motor apart, and get the armature and that crap off of there, cut a hole in the case so I could put the sprocket gear on, and then I could start, or I don't even have to do that. I'm going to make sure it aims in the right direction so that I could put the motor on there. Or the other thing is a straight axle. I went to BMI Carts last night. I had a few minutes, and for about $130 you could get the engine and the bearings and go with a straight axle. I have to see which, believe it or not, which is cheaper. If I got to put a jack shaft in there and do some manipulations like that, it might just be easier to change the axle out. The golf cart with a straight axle, particularly if I gear it down, that also makes a little bit more of a utility vehicle. Not that it would be like great at plowing a foot of snow or anything, but with a straight axle in it, a decent set of tires on the back, perhaps a set of chains, and a little weight back there, it probably would actually push some snow. People do have pushed snow with two-wheel drive vehicles. Not I actually have a couple of plows. I could fairly easily, and I obviously have a winch. Wouldn't be that big a deal to put a plow on this guy. I'm just not sure how well it would actually push snow. I've had situations where I've been pulling with it, pulling heavy weight with it, and it will, if the object won't move behind it, it will just spin, and snowed up pavement will spin. Anyway, blah blah blah. Folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing to my videos and my channel. I want you guys to keep your feet down and keep your head up. With the snow out there, don't do anything stupid. We just had an engineer fall off his roof while he was clearing it, and broke his pelvis in a few places. So he's getting all pinned up, and he's going to be out of work for 3 months or so. So it sucks having snow on your roof. Sucks even more having snow on your roof and having a broken pelvis to go with the snow on your roof. And everything considered, when you fall off your roof, you might not be lucky enough to break a pelvis. You can actually, break your back and end up screwed. So, think about that before you do anything interesting or creative. Folks, remember to keep, once again, your feet down, your head up, and enjoy all your days. Bye now.